Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Atlanta, it's time for Customer Experience Radio. Brought to you by Heineken Company, real estate advisors specialized in corporate relocation. Now here's your host, Jill Heineck.
Welcome to this very special edition of Customer Experience Radio. I'm your host, Jill Heineck, and I'm a business owner, real estate advisor, and customer experience enthusiast. We have two very special guests on the show today. They are incredible people that I have come to know and adore, as I've been fortunate enough to work with them during their relocation to Atlanta 6 years ago. I'm super excited to have 10-year-old Jaida Burke and her mom, Amie, on with us today. They are the founders of the nonprofit organization Kids Care that was started because Jaida wanted the world to know that kids do care. KIDS stands for Kindness in Doing Service, and CARE stands for Connecting and Respecting Everyone. Q99.7's The Burt Show got wind of the good they were doing with their new initiative called the Kindness Cards and had them on the show in April of this year. And I was just so impressed with Jaida and her passion behind it. I just had to have her on. Hi, guys.
Hi. Good morning, Jill.
I'm so happy you're here. And I cannot wait to dive in and talk about the fantastic program that you have rolling here. So, Jaida, why don't you talk to us just a few minutes about how this all came about? I think you were just 8 years old when you decided that this was something you wanted to do, and that was exactly 2 years ago yesterday.
Yeah. So, we were actually driving in the car, and I'm homeschooled. So, we actually, my mom was like, hey, why don't you make an acrostic poem? And I'm like, okay. So I chose the word kids, and I made kindness in doing service. And she was like,
yes. And I almost, had to pull the car over immediately when she told me that in about 2 minutes. And I had to ask her, what does that mean to you? What are you thinking as an 8-year-old? What does that mean? And so we had a really great conversation about it. And then she talked about how she wanted to get kids together in a club so that we could do community service. And she wanted to come up with the ideas, and she wanted other children to come up with the ideas. So like I said, I gave her a high five and I said, let's do it.
I love it. I love it.
And then later on we came up with CARE. So.
Yeah. So
yeah. What was like one of the first projects that you did?
We did a book drive. We had some people go around their neighborhood, and we actually went around our entire neighborhood, knocked on every door, and was like, hey, can you give us some books? We gave them to, I think, 5 organizations.
Yeah, we did. And we got over 1,000 books. And we were not a nonprofit at that point. We were just kind of a little group. Mm-hmm. So it was after that success of that project that I was like, if we're going to keep rocking success here, we're going to just become a nonprofit so that way we can get and give easily, So then in January of 2019, we incorporated and have been doing goodness since.
So are you now a 503?
Yes. Starting in January of 2019, we are. Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what's been your favorite part so far, Jaida?
Well, I'm actually liking this a lot. It's really nice. It feels good.
Yeah.
So now talk to us a little bit about the Kindness Card program that you've been working on, particularly during this really hard time we are during the pandemic. And who are you trying to bring this kindness to?
We are, the story behind this is we were actually sitting in this room and we're thinking, what are we going to do? And I'm like, well, we already did our kindness cards for the military troops overseas. So I'm like, we already know how to do cards. Why don't we do cards? So.
Yeah. And we had talked a lot about, quarantine and staying at home and what that means. Yet there were people that couldn't stay at home. Mm-hmm. And who were those people and what were they doing? So when we were discussing that, she was like, kindness cards for sure. We can do that. That is something that we can safely do at home. And I managed to get a hold of someone at Kennestone Hospital, and they assured us that bringing cards to them was not a safety issue. So we decided, I was like, well, okay, if we do a drive-by and drop-off program, people can really just stay in their car, drop it in the box, and then we quarantine it for 24 hours. And then we separate the cards into the different frontline workers and deliver them from that point. So that has been working out really well. But really what kind of sparked it was talking about those frontline workers and things that they have to endure about being away from family, working overtime. It's a stressful period for them. And we said, you know what, Jaida was like, right from her heart, let's make smiles. Let's just make some smiles. That's easy to do. So I said, yeah, it is. Let's do it. We know how to do that. So this is kind of what we're doing now, is trying to create some smiles and just send moments of encouragement to those who are working on the front lines.
So tell us a little bit about who has been receiving these cards.
Well, we are spreading them out to all the first responders and frontline workers. So we've got 911 dispatch, we've got police, we've got fire, and we have Kennestone Hospital, which is nurses and EMS. So,
yeah, we so far
fantastic.
We've delivered. Do you want to tell them how many we've delivered so far?
So far we've given 293 cards.
Yeah,
wow.
And then from our last drive we have 102. Yeah. So we've got about 395.
Yeah, tomorrow we're
That's incredible.
Deliver the 102. So yeah, we're close to 400 cards, and I know talking with Jaida, we don't really like to stick to a number. We just kind of, though people ask us what our goal is, and we can throw a number out there, but really what we can do from our own kindness hearts is the best that we can do. And we asked that of the community as well. Like, can we get people to step forward and, write some words of encouragement, color some pictures. These are simple kindness acts that we can do that really make a difference in somebody's day.
It's fantastic. So what areas of the Atlanta market or area are you delivering to at the moment?
Right now, we're mostly in Cobb County. However, we had someone reach out in Jackson, Georgia, and she has a nonprofit, and it's called the Life Enrichment Team. And so they were really inspired by what we're doing, and they're doing it now in Butts County. So anyone in Butts County can look on our website at kids-care2018.org, and there's information there. But also we've got East Cobb, West Cobb. We've just breaking news. We got 2 new places that are doing a pickup, drive by and drop off. One in Woodstock and another one in Marietta. So
nice.
Carol Wilson's Fine Art Inc. has reached out to us, and they've donated some actual, not handmade cards, but greeting cards. And we have 69 of them. And she has, she's got an email right here, and she's willing to have anyone send her an email with the note that they want to put in, and she'll handwrite it in a card and send it to us.
That's right.
So she must have beautiful handwriting.
She does, and she has beautiful greeting cards that her and Jaida went through and picked out specific cards for the mission. And it's an incredible offer that she's doing, and that information is all up on our website as well. But from that, I think Jada's point is we have gotten messages from people from all over the state, actually, from that information being passed out on the Bird Show, and hopefully today on your show. More beautiful people to send in some messages. They don't have to leave their home. Those messages will get delivered. We're going to try to spread the love a little bit more as we're getting more cards. We've donated quite a few to Kennestone Hospital, so I think we're going to move on to another hospital. Same with when we deliver cards to the police and fire, we try to pick different departments and hand them out that way. So it's kind of a spur of the moment thing. At first it was all planned out, like this one. But Jaida, do you want to tell them about what happened last Wednesday when we had a pickup?
Oh, yes. So here's a story. So we were sitting in the Laurel Park, and a prisoner's transportation truck went by, and we're like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. Just joking around a little. And then he turns around and pulls up, and we're like, uh-oh, I think we're actually in trouble. And he comes up, and we're like, we got cards for you.
Yeah, we said, we got cards for you. Because we had a bag of 30 cards that we were going to deliver to the police department that day. We were just waiting for a few more. And So we had a really beautiful conversation with him, and that really led to a magical day. Actually, we were there for our drive-by and drop-off. So Jaida and I set up our table, and then we go hang out on a blanket and we wait. And he drove by and he stopped and he said, "This is just really awesome what you all are doing. Thank you so much. It really means so much to us." So that was really cool. And he wanted to give us a donation out of his own pocket. He was trying to give us his last dollar. And we were like, no, we're supposed to be giving to you.
Right.
Nice moment. And then he said, I'll be right back. How long are you going to be here? So we said about an hour. And so he sent an email out. And then, 15 minutes later, we had another police officer show up. And he got out of his car. He's like, "This is just so awesome. Thank you so much. We love the cards. It means so much." And it was really neat to be able to talk to him 6 feet apart, of course. We spoke to him, and he really told us about how the days are stressful. The days are long. It's hard at work, and it's hard at home because they are exposed, so they have to go home. And sometimes they don't have an opportunity to quarantine in a separate part of the house because maybe houses aren't that big.
Right.
So being at home is stressful for them. Being with the public who is stressed out can be stressful. So he said, we can get some things delivered to us, but words of encouragement are so special and they go right to our heart. So thank you so much. So that was magical. He left, and then we had another officer pull in and do the same thing. And it was so awesome. We got to, you want to tell them about the foot pies?
Yeah. So instead of the elbow 5, because that makes contact and you have to get all close, we came up with the foot 5. So this is one person's foot, this is the other, and then 5-5.
And you lean away from each other when you're foot fiving. So we got some foot fives with the officers, and we made them smile. And it wasn't just us; it was the people that made the cards. Because we had that bag of 30 cards, that wasn't just us. We definitely add some cards in there, but it's the community that's coming out and dropping cards, dropping a handful of cards, dropping 2 cards. Every card makes a difference. It really does.
It's such a phenomenal program. I love it so much. So what I wanted you guys to tell us a little bit more about so our listeners can engage wherever that they can. Tell us a little bit about how someone can get involved, either, from just a writing cards perspective or wanting to be a drop-off or pick-up, or how can we help? And, what are your needs at the moment?
Okay. Do you want to start about this part, Jaida? Well, we need people to make cards.
Okay.
That's our first one. We talked about this before we got on air, and we said, we need people to make cards. And Jaida wrote down a couple things that she wanted to mention.
I wrote down all the kinds of cards we've had. We have watercolors, we've had crayons, we've had colored pencils, we've had stickman portraits. The opportunities are endless. I mean, we've got glitter, ribbons, pipe cleaners, glue, Sharpies.
Yeah.
Stencils, anything.
So making cards at home is an awesome thing. And even if you can get your neighborhood to do it and just put them in a drop box at the end of your driveway, or if you can organize any bit of collection as far as a personal person wanting to volunteer and help out. Gathering cards is kind of the thing that we need right now. Also sharing the information like you are doing so kindly for us, Jill. Sharing the information so that way people understand what's going on and how to get those cards to us so we can get them to the first responders. As far as any businesses that might be listening and want to help, becoming a drop-off spot is awesome, because the more we can get on that front, the more people can participate without having to drive too far to drop off the homemade cards. Also, we ask in that the businesses possibly help share the word as well, because spreading the word is going to create more kindness cards.
What a great way that we could kind of tie that in from a business perspective is to maybe find a few restaurants that are doing curbside pickups.
Agreed.
And see if there's a way that we can double back, right? And help everyone.
Right.
That would be a fantastic way to do it. So we can explore that for sure.
Yeah.
I just love what this. So what you're saying, Jaida, is that I can just be sitting at my desk and I can just pull out my Crayolas and a piece of construction paper and make a card, and you'll accept it?
Those are the best ones. It doesn't take very long.
Oh, good, because that's probably all I got.
It really doesn't take long. And we were
so are you having a lot of, I'm guessing that your neighborhood's very fully engaged with this, knowing that they have a rock star in the neighborhood.
Not really, actually, but
not as much as we've
tried to put the word out, but we've only had a couple people reach out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It does take time.
Yeah,
it does take time.
We've had other neighborhoods, and we've had people show up with a stack of 50 cards that they've gotten from their own neighborhood. So,
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
so
it's great.
So now, is there any other ways that you're getting out to try to get more cards and to let people know more about this? What other channels have you guys been kind of talking about your program?
Yeah, through social media for sure, on our social media aspects. Also, I've got it. Sorry, I keep saying that. We've got it on Patch, and we've also got it on the neighborhood as well. And I think that's about what we've got right now. We'd like to keep trying to spread the word. We'd love to get some teachers involved, some scouts, some churches, youth groups, neighborhoods, classmates. So if the word could get spread around that way, that even through social media, that would help us a lot, because like we keep saying, the more cards we get, the more smiles that we're making for those frontline workers who are there for us, and they're there for our family, and they're there for our community, and they're working hard and tirelessly. And that's the whole important part of this.
And not only the people who get the cards feel good, the people who make the cards also feel good.
Yeah.
They're spreading it.
That's true.
It's better.
Right.
So what is your vision for kindness cards down the line? So just, we're in this time right now, and we'll probably be like this maybe for another 4 to 8 weeks potentially. So what happens after that?
We actually are thinking about doing another book drive. We've had a couple people reach out like, hey, you still doing it? Hey, we got books. So we might do another book drive, and
oh, yeah. Yes, we also were talking about doing a sneaker run. We're kind of thinking about a project called the Sneaker Run, where we collect donated sneakers and give them to a nonprofit called Eco Sneakers, and they recycle them and give them back out to people who need them. So we're kind of kicking around some new ideas, but right now we're elbow deep into the kindness cards and really trying to stir up some kindness. It's just such an easy, free project for people to do. And I don't just mean project like that, but really, really raising the vibrations for people around you. It also gives you something to focus on positively, and to share that with the frontline workers to lift their spirits is so important.
I love this so much. I think it's such a phenomenal project, and I think you're talking about raising vibrations and giving out good vibes. I can feel it through the Zoom call.
Oh, good. I've got a quote I'd like to read for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. And I made this quote, but it's something that came to me earlier on in the project, and I think it's really important. So I'm going to read it. It says that we are all powerful. Our words, our body language, our thoughts, our actions, our hearts, all knowingly and unknowingly impacting those around us. Please remember to power up some kindness to those around you. Take time to care, and thank you to all that do.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Amy. And Jaida, thank you so much.
Yeah, Jaida wants to share hers.
Will you please tell us where everyone can find you? So give us any social channel handles and email and web addresses and all that.
Yes, ma'am. So our website, kids-care2018.org. And there is a special section on that website for kindness cards. It's got a drop-down menu. It's got all the locations, times, dates. It's got the free handwriting service from Carol Wilson Fine Arts. And it's got everything you need. It's got Google Map links. So go to that website. Facebook, you can find us on Facebook at Kids Care 2018. You can find us on Instagram at KC2018.org. And you can email us at KC2018.org@gmail.com.
Awesome. I am so happy. This experience for our frontline workers is already very, very hard. And I think you're making this a little bit easier for them. And it's just such a special program. And I so appreciate you taking the time to talk with me about this. It's very moving, and I love that you're so committed to it and taking care of everybody around you. And so and I'm just honored to know you.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you. It really is something positive for people to focus on. And it's an easy action that people can do because a lot of people are still at home and we are at home. This is something we can do. This is something our neighbors can do. This is our families can do. And even if people say, they're in their family and you have family members in another state, it's something they can do as well. Actually, you can just drop the cards off and you can send them in the mail. It's just an easy program for people to participate, to feel good. And then, like Jaida says, it's not just the one person making the card that feels good. It's the people making it and the people receiving the card. It's just a positive thing to focus on. And we all need to focus on positive and raise these vibrations and the spirits of everybody around us.
And yes, I like to say, my quote is, everyone can be kind. It's like having a superpower.
That is fabulous. I absolutely adore that quote so much. I want you to send me an email with that quote in it, okay?
Done.
I'm going to use that in every communication, and I'm going to quote Jaida Burke. You will now be famous. Well, again, thank you guys so much. And I just wanted to thank everyone for listening today and really taking the time out to hear about this fantastic program. I'm proud to share this show with you as these stories prioritize, what people are doing in our community and helping to make this experience much more impactful for the frontline workers as well as the people that they are serving. And this is really the heart of where our communities are. And we thank you so much. So thanks everyone for listening. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.